Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, here's the thing, guys: spiritual freedom or spiritual enlightenment is about being aware of oneself and dissolving the mind. That's the work that one must be aligned with. There's no special, techniques, approach for this path. And also, there's no special place to be at to wake up to the truth. You can be wherever you are right now and work on yourself. Every day, your life is giving you a signpost. That signpost is a simple idea coming in your head as a fight, as an anger, as a frustration, as irritation, as a fear, whatever. They are simply emotional, coming from the emotional construction, the mental construction, coming from the place of preference that you have built up in your life. And things come in your way as a flow against your preference. That's why there is that frustration, madness, fear, conflict, drama resurface. Now if we step back and investigate on whatever we're experiencing, then that's the simple way to create an inward journey to see the plain sight truth, to figure out the inner truth. And that process itself is dissolving the ego. The journey, the enlightenment journey, is about dissolving the ego. Ego is the mind. Ego is the preference. Ego is the ingrained belief. So the process, the tracing back the situation to figure out the root that causes us the fluctuation, is the way to figure out the absolute truth, the egolessness state. But we don't acknowledge the day-to-day experience. We don't create the inward journey from that because we have heard lots of stories since we started the spiritual path. There are too many stories we have read, too many stories we have heard, how to get enlightened. There's ideas that, everybody has their own way to see the truth. So with that idea, we also think that, you know, align with that, or my way will happen also in a different way. So, this mental, references are there about, you know, how the awakening can take place. And on top of that, we add our flavor, the imagination on that, on those stories. Most of the stories, it's just the signpost. It's spoken in a um, metaphorical approach. It's not realistic. It's not exactly the same. And when when we are, hearing, seeing these stories, you know, we think that's the way to get to the truth with our additional imagination to it. So we fantasize on the spiritual path. And all this, imagination is simply make us deny the simple journey towards the truth. And also, there are different practices that we have collected in our spiritual journey. We have applied lots of, different techniques, thinking to see the truth. And every technique has given us a different flavor, different experience. And that creates further confusion. Yes, we are experiencing a lot of stuff. We're hearing a lot of stories. We're collecting a lot of credentials through workshops, through, reading lots of books aligned with spirituality. And from that, our head is getting bigger. That means our ego self is getting, stubborn, rigid. Everything we go through in the spiritual practice is mostly making the ego self more stubborn. And that's what already happened in everyone's life. When we reflect, we know, is our head getting bigger? Are we, am I becoming more righteous from the spiritual path? Am I more defensive now? That's the result. Ego, the ego gets bigger. When we are not aware what's the purpose of the spiritual path, the spiritual path makes the ego stubborn. That means ego becomes defensive, righteous, and so on. The purpose of the spiritual path is not making our head bigger with credential, with experience. It's about dissolving the mind, dissolving our head, and become the headless guy. And that headless guy, is Anchor in awareness. Anchor in truth. And how to anchor in truth, how to become the headless guy, is not denying our day-to-day situation. The simple way to create the inward journey and figure out the truth is, accept, accept your reality, your living, functioning reality, and whatever you go through in your life, you look at it. When you are having fun, there is no investigation. You are lost in the fun. That's the tendency. But when you are feeling the friction, then you look why, certain things take away the sense of ease in me, the sense of peace in me, the sense of happiness in me. Why things bother me. Every day you are bothered by something, no doubt. There's always, some level of friction. If you're not going through any friction in your life, right now you're having fun. Now, let me create the friction in your life. You are scared to lose that fun, isn't it? That's why you keep, putting the effort not to lose that fun. So that effort itself is a struggle, isn't it? Continual struggle that you're putting to, to maintain that fun, comfort. Isn't that the sign of fear? Fear of losing? There you go. Now, you investigate why you're afraid of losing. Also, again, you can use your day-to-day situation. That's the simple way to create the inward journey. That's the simple way to understand the mind, through the backward work. That's how we understand how the mind, becomes the stubborn reality through the backward work. So if you want to understand the world, how the world pulsates, you have to understand yourself first. That means you have to see yourself thoroughly through the deconstructing the mind. And your thoroughness, your unbiased, uncompromising attitude will make you see the plain sight truth within. And when you see it, the mind drops, the fight drops, the ego gives up. Now you are anchored in awareness. You become the awareness. You become the nature of the truth, which is the awareness. And life unfolds from there. And post-enlightenment, life is an easy living. Life without the inner conflict and fear. The fearless life will unfold. The mind becomes an ally we use when we need it. Otherwise, we become the observer. And anchoring in that observer seat is a meditation. Life itself is a meditation. Anchoring in that observer state and observing stepping back and looking. And we only engage when we need to. And when you engage in something, we know that we're engaging in the story, in the drama. But we will never get lost in the drama post-enlightenment. But right now, we are engaged in life, in the things, and we are lost in it because the truth is missing. That's why we are experiencing the heat every day. That's why we're experiencing the fight every day. You know, frustration, anger, madness, fear, conflict, drama is always there because the truth is missing. And until we see the truth, those emotional construct, the mental construct, further construct, which is a psychological construct, you know, it's going to be there. And life becomes a never-ending struggle. So again, waking up to the truth, awakening or spiritual enlightenment is a simple journey. You know, there you don't have to go to the special places. You don't have to see this, you know, enlightened gurus. There's no special techniques, there's no secret techniques for this. Your life itself is a message. Don't deny it. Investigate on your situation that comes out as a message, and you know that's the way to waking up from the false reality. That's the way to enlighten yourself. That's the way to see the truth in you. Okay? So, you know, reflect what you have been doing in the spiritual path, and the reflection is the way to, you know, see how much, you know, the spiritual alignment is serving you. And again, if it's not helping you to overcome your fear, to dissolve your mind, then, you know, your reflection should give you the idea, you know, to change gear in your spiritual practice and align with something that will help you, you know, be free inside and out. Anyway, hope this video makes sense to you to some extent. Hope you're enjoying the backward movement. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.